Last year, Mike Pemulus became the first linebacker in recent memory to win the Heisman Trophy, and in his senior season, he's coming back to win it again. Mike's debilitating back injury is no longer a problem, as after a year of taking black market painkillers, his nerve endings are completely destroyed and he no longer feels pain at all. Although sometimes when he wakes up, he's completely unable to move his neck or stand up. But because he can't feel any pain, Mike's big hits have gotten even more devastating, and his coach is going to have him play a little bit of edge rusher this year to terrify opposing QBs. Mike won't be satisfied unless he wins a second straight Heisman Trophy and takes FSU to the playoffs. And if he can't accomplish both of those goals, I'll be sending one random person who likes and comments on this video all of the money in my bank account and my pet rabbit. Let's go ahead and get into Mike's senior season. The best linebacker on the planet takes the field for his senior season, and on the first drive of the game, he's going to get a pick. This year is going to be crazy, y'all. We're going for 30 picks in a college football playoff appearance. And getting off the block here, he flies in and gets the tackle on the quarterback for his first sack of the year. Let's go. And once again, guard in the middle. They are once again going to throw it right to us. These teams have apparently not learned from 3 years of tape on Mike. You cannot throw over the middle when he's playing linebacker. We're doing what we should be doing at FCS, 28-0 in the third quarter. And at this point, I'm just focused on trying to rack up stats. And I actually do like being able to get subbed in at D-end every once in a while. I can kind of like choose which formations I want to do it from. It's a good way to make plays in the run game too. Mike has got to be by far the most versatile player in the country. And sadly, coach decided to take Mike out for the fourth quarter. Didn't want to start getting hurt, as he obviously had a very solid first game, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and 2 picks. And we are just getting started. And Mike signing a brand deal with Gatorade. He has truly hit the big time. Apparently this is going to give him 750,000 followers for some reason. This next game could be brutal though, guys. We're headed on the road to Georgia, a team that handed us a killer loss at the start of last season. We've got to find a way to make the impossible happen here. They're a 94 overall. We've already got him to third down, got to lock up here on this first drive, and they're actually going with a screen right to Mike's guy. He finds his way through the blocks and is able to get the tackle. I don't know what those blockers were doing, honestly. I unfortunately don't think offense is going to provide a ton of help today, but maybe we won't need it. Mike's balling out here on these first couple drives, picking up another tackle for loss. Georgia going with a play action. We got our perfect man coverage. They throw it right to us, and Mike drops it. Come on, bro. That is not one that we can miss, but still a nice play, I guess, and we're able to get the breakup on third down. Defense has actually been pretty sturdy so far. It did end up being a kind of uneventful first half for Mike after he missed that pick, but lurking up here to start the second, and he's gonna redeem himself. Somehow the quarterback just didn't see a 6-7 frame, and that puts offense in great position. We're actually playing really well, man. 10-7 lead headed into the third quarter, and it looks like they're going our way on the wheel. Oh no, they're throwing to the other dude. I thought we had us another one. Mike's playing the edge here on third down. Let's see if we can get a pass rush going. We're actually doing a good job fighting off this block and getting to the quarterback, but he gets it out first, and Georgia's gonna be able to pick up the first. Bulldogs starting to threaten again, and we got a weird zone here as they just rush it up the middle, and I didn't engage the block quick enough. I don't know how much more we can expect from offense, man. Feels like we're gonna need another big play from Mike. He helps out with the tackle for loss there. That'll bring up a 3rd and 9. They're running this cluster formation and just going with a screen. Please tell me someone can tackle. No way they're gonna pick that up off that play call. We do have a shot at a 3rd and 9 here. Mike's gonna be rushing again and getting to the outside. He's able to create a little bit of pressure, but just terrible zone coverage over the middle. Like 57, what are you doing, buddy? So we head to the fourth quarter with Georgia on a death march drive. That'll bring up a 3rd and 16. We're sending the blitz here, and Mike trying to fight towards the quarterback, able to get the pressure. They just chuck it deep, and it's gonna get batted around. We get the pick, and defense comes up huge. Mike was an important part of that stop, but offense continuing to give us nothing. We just got to keep on fighting, I guess. Big 3rd and 4 here. Got to give the boys the ball back. Let's see what we got. Looks like a bubble screen. No, dude, they tricked me. It goes right into our zone. That's killer. Mike's just having to play so aggressive to make up for some of the errors of his teammates, but we're able to get him to 3rd down again. And this one we need. Come on, man. Ready for a run here, and that's actually what we're gonna get. I tried to be good and stay in the right hole, but they just bounce it outside, and there's nobody else home. So frustrating. Okay, not over yet though. Just gotta keep fighting. Clock is starting to tick down for sure. Just need something here. We're sending a little blitz. Mike's trying to bait everything up, and we actually get the sack. Okay, not looking too bad now. We're running out of timeouts, but they just go read option here, and we're all over that. 3rd and 19 for Georgia now. All right, guys, we need to lock up. 3rd and 19. We're just gonna snap it quick, and looks like they're trying to go. Oh, nope, up deep. Our cornerback's able to make the play, swatted away. And this is actually gonna be a pretty long field goal for Georgia. Can offense respond? All right, let's see. Nope, they just turned it over instantly. We fought so hard, but they just gave us nothing, and that is an unfortunate loss to start the season. Mike played really well, had 4 tackles for loss and an interception. We just needed to catch that one in the first half as well. Okay, so bad news. Much to my annoyance, these next two games for whatever reason rendered out at like 8 frames per second, so I'm not going to show the whole games, just the turnovers and stuff. And this game against Boston College, Mike did go absolutely crazy himself, forcing a fumble and catching a pick six all in the first half. And then playing edge rusher, he read this read option perfectly and absolutely murdered the quarterback for a second forced fumble on the day, even adding a sack in the third quarter. But our offense played terribly. Despite Mike's heroics, we lost to Boston College and our quarterback had a 37% completion percentage, which made this next game against Cal very important. And Mike went crazy pass rushing in this one, had a sack early on, and up 12-0 in the third quarter on this super long developing play, came down, timed to jump perfectly, and got a pick six to add to his 3 sacks on the day, which I thought was game over. But then Cal came back, head tapped Mike for a touchdown, and offense quickly turned it over. So with just under a minute left, Cal handed us our 3rd loss of the season, despite an absurd performance from Mike with 7 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, and an interception. So sitting in a disgusting 1-3, we head to SMU where it's raining. SMU's the team that kind of kept us out of the playoffs last year. They beat us out for the ACC championship. Hopefully we can get revenge today, and we need it, because if we don't get a dub in this, our playoff chances are over for sure. So far, this game has been capital B boring, as SMU just slowly marching down the field and punching it into the end zone. This is not a good start. Gotta make something happen soon, and lurking up the middle like he does, Mike is going to bait up an interception. We only got 30 seconds left before half though, so I was hoping we'd get up out of there. Offense is gonna have to do something in the heavy rain. Alright, offense, 6 points in the half, I guess I'll take it. And going with a running play here, Mike is gonna try to fly in for a big hit and gets the forced fumble. We are going crazy with the forced fumbles, boys, and our teammate picks it up. That might have been the spark we needed. Yes sir, offense marches down and gets a touchdown finally. And Mike's trying to get another forced fumble, sitting dude down again. Job's not done though, obviously, and it's getting pretty late in the 4th quarter. Notably, Mike hasn't been an edge rusher at all, which is kind of weird because he just had like a great game there. I'm kind of happy with it though. SMU can go play action pass here, and I'm trying to lurk this up, but they've got a dude on the backside wide open, and he's gonna get into the end zone for a touchdown. Well, okay, offense actually answers. They're kind of clutching up here. The question is, can we clutch up too? Yes, we can, man. Mike gets a pick. I don't know why dude even threw that, but that should hopefully bag this up. Mike's waving goodbye to the SMU crowd. Okay, so offense got a field goal but did not kill the clock. That makes this kind of an interesting situation, and oh my god, we had a coverage bust. We cannot have another heartbreaker, man. I can't take it. It feels like we need to clutch up again, and the tight end just running a streak. Dude, I was expecting a corner route. They come right to us, and we don't have the hands quite ready. And I can't say I have a great feeling about this, guys. Quarterback's taking off, and can we force a fumble or something? No, clock's gonna be running though. Alright, come on. Please, can we not blow this? 3rd and goal, and we gotta guard the back of the end zone. They're coming our way. Oh my, bro, I don't know. That was just a perfect throw. Maybe offense will bail us out. Let's see. Oh my god, no way, dude. They actually got a field goal. I was not expecting that. Okay, so we get the dub somehow. Alright, well, Mike almost kind of choked, but the boys clutched up. Mike, of course, had a solid game with 2 picks and the forced fumble, but offense coming through big time. Didn't expect it. And Mike has finally arrived on the Heisman watch, sliding in there at number 5. We got Ole Miss next. What's up with us scheduling all these SEC teams? So next up, we take on Ole Miss, who's sitting at 3-2. They've got this annoying wide offense, but we're gonna start this out with a bang. Mike gets the pick, and offense gets nothing. They actually move us backwards a little bit. Beautiful, guys. It's okay though. I feel like Mike's gonna make another play soon, and deciding to guard the flat route for some reason. They're gonna come like right to us. Was not expecting them to hit that wide receiver though, so we're not quite able to make the play. But on 3rd and 7, looks like they're going with a little jet touch pass, and Mike is all over this, sitting dude down. I thought we were maybe about to get another forced fumble. And we're gonna have 3rd and 5. Mike trying to bait up the flat route, and oh my god, they came right our way. Why did he throw that, dude? Swear to god, I do not understand the CPU's flat route logic at all, as they try it there again. We're at least able to make the tackle this time. We got 3rd and 3, watching for halfback, and we're gonna get in there for the sack. Okay, at least we'll hold them to 3. But okay, offense is able to get a touchdown to end the quarter, so maybe we'll be okay after all, as Ole Miss going with play action here, and we're fingertips away from another pick. It'll be a big red zone 3rd and 10, and let's see what we got. Watching out for the corner route. That's exactly what we're gonna get, and I didn't play it quite right. Wasn't expecting the high throw, but we're able to get the knockout at least. least. Offense not able to score this time though, and Ole Miss is right back at us. As Mike's tackling this one has not been ideal. We missed a couple of those big hits we normally make, and they're running right at us here. We get blocked badly, and the Rebels able to take the lead. All right, man, we need somebody to make another play here. Looks like they're actually going to pass the ball, and we're trying to get a big hit on the running back here, knocking the ball loose for a forced fumble, but our teammates not able to pick it up. Damn. At least we've been cooking with the forced fumbles this season, though. As bad as this team seems to be, at least Mike's putting up elite stats and chasing that Heisman. He could become the first ever defensive player to win 2. At least Ole Miss mismanaged the clock pretty bad, and now they're going to have to kick a field goal, so we've still got a chance going into the second half. Come on, Mike. Just need one turnover here, and I feel like this game's going to turn around, and we tried to force the fumble. This defense just so worn down, though. Haven't been able to get traditional stops this game. Mike is just doing everything he can to knock that ball loose. On 3rd and 1, kind of watching for a read option or something, and they're just going to run it up the middle. We are not able to make the tackle this time, and this one might just be over. No one is coming to help us today. Ole Miss, once again, is just the better team here, and honestly, I'm going to stop focusing on winning. We just got to focus on Mike getting the best stats possible, and they're going with a play action pass here, hitting the flats, and Mike is on it for what should be a pick 6. I started celebrating a little bit early, but we are going to take it to the crib, and that could actually get us back in the game. We finally got just a little bit of momentum, and Ole Miss at 3rd and 10 just running the ball for whatever reason. Mike misses the tackle, but we're able to get him short of the sticks, and all of a sudden we got a 1-score game. Okay, I know I just said I was going to stop even worrying about winning, but now that it's seeming possible, we got to do our best to go get it. We got a massive 3rd and 3, expecting a run here, but no, they're just going play action and have a guy wide open. We've still got plenty of time to get a stop though, and they're going hurry up, as I was really hoping for another big hit there. We're not quite able to get dude on the ground though. Now Ole Miss is starting to run the ball heavy, but just going off tackle. We're good at these, and Mike's able to help out with the tackle for loss. 2nd and 11, let's see, they're going with a pass and just coming over the middle. That might get them in field goal range. So 3rd and 4 might be our last chance. Waiting on a screen, but they're just gonna run the ball, and nobody's home. These formations, man, the run is just so annoying to deal with. Now they're starting to chew clock and just going up the middle again. Mike is the only one who can try to stop this guy, and he's gonna get blocked. Way too easy of a touchdown. And that's gonna do it for this one. Mike did his absolute best, but it just wasn't enough. Even coming up with another big hit as the clock winds down. At least this wasn't a conference loss, but at 2 and 4, yeah, we're not a playoff team. The supporting cast for Mike is straight up bad, but he continues to do his thing. 15 tackles today, 1 for loss, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a pick 6. That'll definitely move us up on the Heisman watch. Yet another National the Player of the Week in the loss. We're used to this at this point. Mike is indeed up to number 2 on the Heisman watch. We've got a battle of the 2-win teams next. Headed to Virginia Tech. It doesn't really look like the Enter Sandman is popping right now. Stands are looking pretty empty. Got an early 3rd and goal, and the tight end looked like he was running a corner route, but gets us with the little stick and nod or whatever, and Mike gives up a touchdown on the first drive. Honestly though, I don't feel too bad. Mike's done so much to carry the team, he's just trying to make a play out here. We'll go out and make up for it sooner or later. This game has gotten off to a horrible start, as one of the worst offenses in the ACC is kind of dunking on us here in the first quarter. Already in the red zone again as we're guarding the seam, and they're coming right to us. Ball's a little bit too high for Mike to catch, but he's able to get the deflection. I'm sensing a big play for the boy coming soon. He's been tackling pretty well so far. They gotta come his way again eventually, but not sure what this route combo is here, and it looks like they got the running back over the middle. VT taking a 3-score lead, and now we really are just grinding for the stats. We're about to drop to 2 and 5 with the greatest linebacker of all time at the helm of this defense. Since the rest of our defense is so bad though, that just gives us the opportunity to rack up more tackles, because there's nobody else there to clean it up right now. Seems like just about everybody other than Mike on this team has given up, and he is stretching himself to try to make a play. We're close to the pick 6 there, but the flat routes continue to be a little bit of a mystery with the timing. Headed to the second half down 28-6. Mike's got a D grade, which we gotta remedy or coach is gonna take us off the field. And we actually did come out for most of the 3rd quarter, as this game is a completely lost cause. And we can't even totally blame the offense this time. Defense has been equally bad in these last couple of games, and this time Mike wasn't able to help out with a turnover. Virginia Tech takes it to us on the road. Even in a bad game by Mike's standards though, we had 14 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. And while we didn't have an interception, we did have that 1 pass deflection. Hopefully we can at least get a dub against our rival. And Mike getting some pressure here, not quite able to get the sack, but forces an iffy throw. And we got 4th and 4. Mike's going to line up an edge rusher again, trying to get off the block, and we're not going to be able to get the pass knockout. Mike's playing a little bit more on the edge today, trying to find a way to get this defense some momentum, and they're going up top here. Our corner actually going to come down with a pick. That's nice. Defense is playing a lot better in this one so far. Offense wasn't quite able to capitalize there, but Miami backed up in their own end zone, and going over the middle here, Mike gets the pick, and we've got a shot at a pick 6. Gotta play this right, and we're not quite going to be able to get around the quarterback. Mike goes down at the 2, but that's his 10th interception on the season. We've got the Canes on upset alert coming out of halftime, and they're going right to us here with the screen. I never expect them to actually throw those. We at least get the tackle for loss. And to fast forward through all the boring stuff, we're headed to the 4th quarter 17-3. Still looking for a second pick of the day. Looks like Miami's going for a huge 4th and 3 here. Gotta lock up and can't let that dude get open behind us. They're just gonna chuck it deep, and they've got a man open. It looked like I didn't see what happened because the fans went in front of us, but we're somehow able to get the knockout, and we remain in the lead here. If we get a turnover down here in the red zone, could potentially end the game. But on second down, Miami going with a little bunch formation, and they've got a corner out wide open on the other side. So they're on our side of the field again, where it feels like they've been the entire day, and they're going with that stick and nod play here. We accidentally rubbed our own teammate, I think, and the Canes are going to take the lead late in the 4th. Okay, offense actually got a field goal to tie it up, though. I don't know how much faith I have in defense to lock up with under a minute left. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if they go more aggressive here. Looks like they're going 4 verts, and Mike is on that crosser, baiting it up and dropping the pick. Mike, come on, dude. Not getting that one hurts. At least we got him to 3rd and 10, though. But they're just going to chuck it up deep, and their tight end Moss is our DB, and that puts them down into field goal range. You're kidding me. Brutal stuff here, and I'm hoping Miami's going to pass it here. They just run it instead. Maybe we can get a forced fumble or something. On 1st and goal, we try to shoot the gap, but dude cuts it to the outside. We try to make the tackle, but he falls into the end zone, and that's going to do it. Heartbreaker again. Mike dropped the potential game-winning pick, and we slide to an embarrassing 2-6 on the season. Another good game from Mike, but we just needed one more play from him, and we couldn't get it. At this point, we might not even make a bowl game, but Mike is trying to continue balling out regardless, starting out this game with a pick, and it's going to go back to the crib, as we once again have a top 25 team on upset alert here. The Heisman Trophy still well within reach, and look at this beautiful man coverage from Mike on the corner route. Thought the quarterback was maybe going to come our way. Let's see if we can get another pick here. They're going with a little slant route. We can bait this up, and they are going to come our way. Mike's able to reach up and get it, and can we crib this? Trying to get a second of the day. Mike is not quite going to have the lane to get up out of there, but he is going crazy in this one. Contrast Mike's ball skills with that of his teammates. As we see here on a 3rd down play, UNC's quarterback going to throw it right to our linebacker, who just lets the ball bounce right off of his head. We unfortunately still don't have much of a lead this game, so coming out of halftime, we got to rectify that as Mike jumps the screen pass. Perfect timing, and we're going to have a second pick 6 of the day. This is the performance I've been waiting on this season. Unfortunately, these plays might just not be enough to get us over in this one. UNC is threatening to score with just under 2 minutes left, and hitting a deep ball, that could do it. We have certainly not been great in close games this season, and the Tar Heels have got it down at a goal line. Might just make sense for us to let them score quick, but they're actually going with a pass play, running back, trying to juke everybody out, and Mike goes for the ankles, but can't quite get the tackle. UNC is going to get into the end zone, and once again, we give up a late loss. Once again, though, at this point, don't really care about the wins. Mike was able to get 3 picks, which I'm happy about. 2 of them going to the crib. That should be enough to get him up to number 1 on the Heisman watch. We rack up another National Defensive Player of the Week. Mike has got to have a record for like the most of those in his career. So next we head to Wake Forest, who's coming in at 5-5. Might be another tough matchup as Mike starts it out with the tackle. Demon Deacon's putting a drive together here early on, but their quarterback keeping it and running right towards Mike. Sit down. That dude looked like he was running in quicksand. We've got a 3rd and 7. They're rolling everything over to the other side, and quarterback's gonna try to take off. Mike locks him up again, and that was pretty close to being our first sack of the day. I want to go get that sack on the 2nd drive. I haven't had as many as the season's gone on, but we're gonna fly in for one here. Mike just comes pretty much unblocked off the edge. So we got our sack, got a couple of tackles under our belt. Now it's time to go get our pick, and we are gonna do just that right here. Mike plays the zone coverage to perfection, and can we get up out of here? Yes, we can. We pick up a couple of blocks from our cornerbacks, and Mike has a crazy number of pick 6s this season at this point. We're still trailing going into the second half, though. Gotta come up with another play. Mike is racking up the tackles. He's got like 8 on the day already. To be totally real, we have just really struggled to stop this Wake Forest offense overall. Like I've said, at this point, the wins and losses don't really matter. I'm not going to show you all the boring stuff, but they have pretty much just been cutting every defense we throw at them apart. Mike's doing his part by playing good coverage over here, but whatever part of the field he's not at, there is sure to be a hole. Wake is chewing clock heading into the 4th quarter. This is pretty embarrassing. Hopefully we can at least get one more nice stat before it's all said and done. That will be all for this one. No need to show any more. Another nice statistical game from Mike, and that's all there is to be said about it. 2-8, boys. Who would have thought? We are remaining right here on the Heisman watch under this quarterback Ty Hawkins. We need 2 more great games to be able to pass him. As with 2 games left, I don't know if we'd say that Mike has exceeded last season, but 14 interceptions and almost 7 sacks is pretty crazy. His tackle numbers have skyrocketed as well. And hey, maybe, just maybe, we can make one positive thing happen before the end of the season. Since Mike's on the Heisman watch, the fans are still filling out the stadium even though the team is trash and we're taking on number 2 Clemson. Call me crazy, but I actually have a kind of good feeling about this game. We'll see how it goes, and Mike almost starts it out with a pick. His hands have definitely taken a downturn this season, it feels like, but we were able to get a stop and the fans are going crazy for this 2-8 team. Unfortunately, offense turns it over, but we're not going to let that kill our spirits. Mike guarding a crosser again, and they throw it to him again. Give me that. Believe that's our 15th interception on the year, and we're trying to make it 20 before it's all said and done, fellas. Offense even goes down and gets a rare touchdown. This is huge. We've had plenty of good starts and bad finishes though, so I'm not going to get too excited. And after we force a field goal, offense turned the ball over. Not ideal stuff, but Clemson going with a screen and we're on it. Mike is already in the end zone when he catches the ball, and we've got a second pick on the day. This one puts us ahead. Mike is balling out in this one, determined to make the upset happen, and lurking up another crosser here. He's going to get his 3rd of the day, and at this point 20 on the season is looking within reach. Thought we were maybe going to crib that, but Clemson has some speed on their team. Let's see if we can keep it going. Tigers have the ball before halftime and going with a wide formation. They still go over the middle and a 4th on the half. Are you kidding me, guys? This performance could potentially win us the Heisman Trophy for the 2nd straight year. We come out in the second half up 7 points, trying to play spoiler to Clemson's playoff hopes. Clemson trying to come out strong here though and taking a deep shot. Our cornerback got absolutely fried, and this is going to go to the bank. Most of Mike's hard work to get us in this game undone there, and that takes us to the 4th quarter. Defense absolutely needs to come up with a stop here. We're back in the cover 3 and there's some stuff coming over the middle, but our teammate, the one who I was making fun of for having the ball hit off his head earlier, comes up with a huge pick, and offense gets nothing. I can't believe Mike is risking permanent injury to play this senior season, and our offense turned out to be this bad. We're going to try to keep on carrying though. 3rd down, and they're going with a little tunnel screen. Read that a little bit late, but Mike's on it for the hit. Still just radio silence from the boys on offense though. As we see a screen coming, Mike's going to jump it, and I thought that was going to be another pick 6, but he lets it go through his hands. Come on, man. Mind you, boys, 4 picks this game, and we've dropped 2. Defense is just going crazy, and we get another 3rd down stop. Unbelievable. Instead of scoring, our offense takes a safety. You just cannot make this stuff up. This 3rd down is going to be our last chance, and Clemson just going with an off-tackle run here. Mike is, of course, going to be on that, but I have no faith whatsoever in our offense to score in a minute. So, unbelievably, we take the loss to Clemson on a game-losing safety. If that doesn't encapsulate the season, I don't know what does. As Mike had 4 interceptions, including a pick 6 and 2 deflections. That game did spring us up to number 1 on the Heisman watch though, and one more good performance should lock it up, I think. Thankfully, Mike has gone crazy against Florida in the past, and he's going to start out this game by getting a safety. I think that's the first one of those of his career. We're off to a great start despite the offensive ineptitude, and Mike sending a blitz here is going to get to the quarterback. He was supposed to be playing his own, but saw his opportunity up the middle. We're going to have to keep making plays though, and sensing another screen here, Mike's going to jump it and get the pick. I thought it was going for 6 for sure, but heads up play by the wide receiver to tackle him. Mike is giving his last game at Florida State his absolute all. Sadly, offense turned it over right back, but Florida going with the same formation and running the same play. What are you doing? Mike is on it, and this time it is going to the house. This will give us the lead as Mike high steps into the end zone. I believe that's our 20th pick on the season. This game is obviously very far from over though. Florida's putting a drive together. When we haven't been getting turnovers, they've been moving the ball pretty steady. Looking to get a stop before halftime. They go RPO to the other side, and the receiver's going to dive into the end zone. Somehow we still can't get the lead. We trail coming out of the second half, and what are you doing, Florida? They run the same play 3 times, and Mike's going to pick it off 3 times, taking it to the crib again. It's almost like the Gators are trying to sell. We are going absolutely crazy in this one. Maybe one of Mike's best games ever, and baiting up another pick. Are you kidding me? 4 in his last 2 games, and we're going to make a move, getting to the outside, and this is going to go to the crib too. Mike is truly going out with a bang. We are so close to this dub. Just got to get one more stop with 2.5 minutes left, and we got an 8-point lead, so they'd have to get the 2-point conversion too. And can it be, dude? Florida's running the same formation. Are they about to throw this screen again? Yes, they are. Unbelievable. The Gators AI is totally broken, and Mike's 5th pick of the day is going to go back to the crib. One more pick and we could break the NCAA single game interception record. And oh, they tried to come right to us there. It goes barely over our heads. This is probably our last chance with Florida down at the goal line, and looks like they're going with a seam shot. We were just fingertips away from it, and that's probably going to do it for this one. It was a terrible season, but at least we ended it on the best note possible. Mike helped one of the worst offensive teams I've ever seen put up 50 points, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, 5 interceptions, and 4 pick sixes, plus the safety too. One of the craziest performances I've ever seen on a football field. We're going to lock down the Walter camp, lock down the Maxwell, and lock down our second straight Heisman Trophy. Bang. If it's possible, this season was even better than the last in terms of Mike's stats. 24 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 23 interceptions, 11 of those were touchdowns too. 7 deflections, 4 forced fumbles, 1 safety. Just absurd. Looking back on the career, it was just ridiculous. 400 plus tackles, 70 plus interceptions. Mike is sure to be nearly a top pick in the draft, so let me know where you want to see him go. Be sure to drop a like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.